show. Thank you for joining us. We have a double header here today, coming at you today from TCU. Sophomore pitcher Luke Savage there on the right, and freshman infielder David Bishop on the left. Guys, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate your time. I know you guys are busy. Thankfully, you guys get a day off so you can join us. You've both recently been able to become Chinook Seedery ambassadors. What's that been like, and what are your favorite seeds? And go ahead and drop your promo codes in there for us.
It's been fun. It's a pretty eventful thing. Just being able to see Twitter, just blowing up our Twitter, showing the love. But I gotta go with the barbecue seeds. Those are definitely my favorite.
It's been really cool, especially, last year with the whole NIL thing coming about this year. Just to be able to work with these guys has been awesome. Like the support they've given us on Twitter and then just sending us care packages and stuff like that has been awesome. And I don't know, that's a tough one. I think I'm going to go jalapeno ranch, but on a day it's the cinnamon toast. It depends.
Dude,
sometimes
that's on another level.
I agree. Sometimes you're just in that like dessert mood and it just –
I never thought that it'd be like a big hit for the team, but I've actually asked around to my teammates. I'm like, hey, what's your favorite seeds? They're like, the cinnamon. I'm like, I would have never thought that. So it's an interesting but great flavor.
It's amazing.
That bag and you're not sure when you're like, I don't know if this is going to be right.
That was my first thought.
Yeah. Absolutely. Flynn?
All right. Well, David, you're a true freshman here. What's kind of been your biggest adjustment from high school to college?
I think the biggest thing is just the, amount of times we're playing throughout the week and just the amount of reps that we have to deal with. In high school, it wasn't as demanding and a lot, less pressure. But I think I've taken the transition pretty well. It's the same game I've always played. But, having guys like Luke and the rest of the team to help me transition to the college level has just been really easy for me. They've been great leaders. They've kind of taught me through it, give me pointers, just stuff like that. So having people like Luke has really been a fun and easy transition for me.
Awesome. Luke, kind of same question. What's it like, pitching your freshman year at TCU? Obviously, you're facing some pretty stout lineups in the Big 12.
Kind of like what David said. I had a bunch of older guys last year, that had been around, especially with COVID. I had Chuck King, Halen Green, a bunch of guys that really took me under their wing, and they showed me what it was like to be a college baseball player and really just like to be able to handle school and the things that come with being that. So it was definitely not an easy transition, but having guys like that around always helps. And so it's definitely fun to be able to go out there in front of, 6,000 people in Lupton and pitch your heart out. But, yeah, having guys like that is a huge thing.
Yeah, what's it like kind of – I'm sure you don't have crowds, maybe more than, 1 or 2 – I'm sure 2,000 would be a giant game for a high school game. What's kind of like walking out onto the field and seeing, 6,000 guys in the stands, cheering you on? And maybe not even cheering you on. Maybe you're in a hostile environment and, you got 6,000 people hating you.
Honestly, like the first few games I played, I was – just having any fans there was a little nerve-wracking, but I think that was besides the point of the fans. There's just the fact that, wow, it's like, my first few college games. But I think at this point, I just feel kind of settled in. And honestly, having the fans there, it's so great to have, but it doesn't feel like 6,000 sometimes. It feels like you just have the two teams you're playing and you just have people watching. So whether it be 50 to, 6,000, honestly, it's kind of hard to tell at this point.
Yeah. Do you guys ever hear like stuff yelled at you? Can you like pick out, a few voices in the crowd, or is it all kind of white noise at this point?
You can definitely tell like a few sections of people that are, either rooting for you or against you. Always at our home games, we have like the Lupton Beer section who's right next to the dugout, always rooting for us. Yep. So those are the close guys that we can, pick out and differentiate. But you hear your little chirps here and there as any ballpark does.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of times too, especially in away games, if you're locked in, it's almost like that noise helps. But then if things start to go south, I think you can hear a few chirps. And there are some that you're like, man, that one stung a little bit.
What's the worst thing you've heard?
It wasn't even like a creative chirp. It was just like, you effing suck, David Bishop. And I was like, all right, thanks. So it wasn't even like really creative. It was just like, That's just not nice.
Yeah, it's usually just the blunt ones, like you blew it, or I don't know, just like the ones that are straight up. Those are the ones that are like, ouch.
Yeah. So, but I mean, nothing too crazy this year.
No.
Yeah, there you go. You guys are on a winning streak. I think you're shutting the haters up.
That's right.
Kind of walk us through you guys' a typical day, going to class and then, getting ready for a midweek game. And then does your routine change for a midweek game versus a kind of a weekend series?
So I'll walk you through today. So today I had an 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock class, and then I had a little break. Also had a 12. Would have a 1 o'clock lab that would run until about 3 o'clock, but with the semester being close to over, we don't have labs anymore. But after the lab, I'll have weights from about 3 to 4:15, and then just doing homework until my 8 o'clock tutoring.
Yeah, and then Tuesdays is pretty similar. Everybody usually has class ranging from anywhere between 8 to like 2-ish. And then we'll show up to the field at 2, eat, and then we'll go through our whole stretch BP, everything that leads up to the game. Play the game, then we'll get a meal after, and then usually have to crank out some homework in that late night. That's through Wednesday. And then as far as like weekend series goes, depends if we're on the road or not, because if we're on the road, then we don't have to go to class, which is nice. But when we're at home, we'll do the same thing, class from 9 to 12:30, 1-ish, and then everybody has weights either 12 or 2 o'clock. And then from there, we show up to the field, and then that's when the series starts.
Speaking of the season, you guys are getting into it. The season has been a bit back and forth for you guys, but y'all have kind of seemed to have gotten things steered in the right direction. What has been the thing that has helped you the switch? And is there any singular moment that sticks out to you guys?
I think it's just the fact that we realize, we can't just show up to the field and expect to win. Like, we have to bring it all and just leave it on the field. We had a really good start to the season, a lot of energy, and I think we just kind of started cruising. You know what I'm saying? Just didn't feel like we were fighting and really competing like it was our last game of the season. We'd play every game. So I think that once we realized, like, hey, we got to bring it all every game, that was when that's when we started having success.
Awesome. David, this one's for you. I mean, it's well documented that you're an avid supporter of the strike zone.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to argue that.
Yeah.
With your recent, shall we call it a forced rest, what did you learn during that time that can help not only you but the team moving forward?
Sorry. Can you repeat that, or just like explain what you're talking about?
No. So the whole, the little suspension that you had there with the strike zone.
Oh, the West Virginia game.
Yeah.
That was a ball, by the way.
It was a freak. Yeah, it was a freak moment, but I don't know. I really don't know what to say on that. I mean, 100% of the time I'm taking that pitch. It's a pitch that I couldn't get to, and it was just out of my hands. Couldn't control it. But I mean, you look on Twitter and it's like, you gotta swing the bat. You can't leave it up to the umpire. It's like, well, I mean, when it's like 6 to 7 inches off the plate, I should have prepared before that and brought a 40-inch bat to the plate. But I don't know. Maybe it's going forward, hit the first 2 strikes, so you don't leave the third one.
That's understandable. And then you did have a recent unfortunate hand injury. One, are you okay?
Yeah.
Two, what's that process been like?
Taking 96 to the hand doesn't feel great. So thankfully I got x-rays the day of and everything was good. No broken bones, no fractures, but still just a little tender, swollen, and just hard to grip the bat. So I should be good to go tomorrow. Hopefully, won't be any longer than that. Just trying to take the day off and other than weights, but yeah, I should be good to go by tomorrow.
Good deal.
At least it wasn't 104 from Ben Joyce, right?
Yeah, that I think I probably would have broken something then.
David, your first collegiate at bat, you step in the box, RBI single up the middle. Walk us through, what's going on in your head and kind of what you saw.
Yeah. So before the game, I'll take it even before that. I was pretty nervous, not gonna lie. Taking the BP, everybody could tell I was pretty tense, as we say, in red lights. But once the game time came around, the first pitch gets rolling, and I just lock in. I just kind of sit back and think like, hey, this is the game I'm playing. So I just went up there thinking, hey, I'm a freshman. They have no clue who I am. I'm just going to be looking for a fastball right over the plate and try to work with that. And that's what I ended up doing.
What's it like hitting in the middle of the order as a true freshman?
Oh, it's awesome. Just being able to have a role in the team this early and produce and try to help your team win. It's just a great feeling. I just like to think of it as opportunity. It's been a great opportunity so far. And, like baseball is, it could go away at any point. So I just try to take it day by day.
Awesome. And Luke, you'll probably agree with me that your biggest accomplishment in life is your nonprofit Blessed Feet. Kind of walk us through how you came up with it. How's it going, and just kind of the inspiration behind that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I went to the Dominican Republic with my high school team twice. My sophomore and then my senior year, right before COVID hit, and like going down there was really just life changing, just to see the way that the people, like the joy that they have down there, but then also just like the lack of material things that they have compared to what we have here is pretty incredible to see. And I grew really close with one of the pastors, like a pastor, a coach there. He runs a bunch of like youth organizations for baseball there. And when COVID hit and we were all kind of like sitting around, I ended up I was FaceTiming him a lot, talking to him a lot. And I eventually just asked him like, what do y'all need? And he said like, what we really need is shoes and cleats. And I was like, well, I mean, I'm sure that there are a bunch of people here in DFW and really like all over the place that have cleats and shoes that might be in pretty good condition, but they either just grew out of them or got a new pair, whatever it was. And so that's really where the idea came from. And then from there, I just talked with a bunch of people. And I mean, I can't even thank enough people for all the help that I've gotten as far as like my family and my coaches with how they've supported it and how they've helped me grow it. It's really been awesome, but it just kind of grew from there. We developed a website and then it released right after the Big 12 championship last year.
That's awesome, man. It's a great story, and it's been well publicized, and you're a great ambassador to the college game. More people need to be. You're more than welcome. On top of that, you're in your sophomore season. You go through a coaching change. Kind of what's it like? I know the new skipper was already on staff, but what's it like to kind of be under, new direction?
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it's been awesome. As soon as we heard the news that Coach Slosh had left for A&M, we were all pulling for Coach Sarlus to get the head job. We had meetings with the athletic director. They were asking what the players want. And as soon as we found out that Los had gotten the head job, we were all, super pumped and excited. And we knew it was going to be an awesome year because we also knew that with Los coming back, we'd probably have a bunch of returners and things like that. And we would also keep Coach Mo and keep Coach Perk and a bunch of stuff that we had from last year. And so it's been really awesome kind of to have that core group stay behind. But then also just the new way that we're able to play and kind of just relax in the field and go out and have fun is it's been really awesome to see. And I think it's really changed the way that people show up and they enjoy going to the field. They enjoy going to practices. And I think it's really loosened us up in the right way. And I think it'll help us down the line.
Awesome. Now you made a nice play in a comebacker the other day, kind of tell the people that, pitchers are athletes too.
That's right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You take pride in fielding your position?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think pitchers are always slept on. All the position players even here give us hate about how we're not athletes, but we try and show off when we can, which isn't very often because we only throw the ball usually, but when we get the chance, we try and show off our athletic ability.
That's awesome.
David, you're out of Georgia, Marietta, Georgia to be exact. Has the change in geography been difficult, and did you consider staying closer at all?
This hasn't really been difficult. It's just a new place to play baseball, but I never really considered playing anywhere in Georgia or near Georgia. I think the closest that I really had my eyes set on was Duke. But other than that, I kind of wanted to explore new areas, get away from family, just so I could focus on baseball and my studies. And I think that's just kind of helped me develop as not only a player but as a person too. Just being on my own, not having mom and dad 30 minutes away from me, just always being there to help me if I'm failing. So I think just being able to fail on my own and have myself to bounce back and not rely on my parents has just been a really blessing to me.
Yeah, it's always a good experience to kind of get out on your own and experience that, and it helps to have guys around you, especially in the college game that might be from other places too. So you get some well-roundedness there. That's awesome.
So
Luke,
cool.
you're a Texas guy, so not much of a move, especially
Nope.
being just an hour away.
Yeah.
Did you ever consider going out of state like David did?
I did, yeah. I looked at a bunch of schools out of state. Ranging as far as Stanford away, but I think TCU really caught my eye just because it was so close to home. I mean, I've always been my family's been a huge part of my life, and I feel like TCU was the perfect distance to where I would be on my own, but I also knew that if my family ever needed me or I ever needed them, I could go see them, and it was just a quick drive away. And so I think that's really helped, and especially last year, I think it was a blessing in disguise, after COVID hit, being able to go home and see my family during all those things. We're online for class. I don't really get to meet anybody new other than people on the team. And so just being able to have that close proximity to my family, I think was really a blessing.
What did you do during COVID? And David, that was probably during your high school season. What happened with you on that with COVID?
You want to start out?
Yeah. So COVID hit right when I actually had labrum surgery at the end of my junior year. And so the first game that I was supposed to come back and start was the day that our season got canceled because of COVID in high school. Jeez. And so then we didn't get to play that whole year, and that was tough because, it was all my best friends growing up, and we were wanting to go to state, and we were projected to go to state and all this. And so that was tough. And I know it was tough for everybody. We were just stuck inside for a while, and then getting to TCU, we were all online. We didn't I didn't meet anybody outside of the baseball team just because of the quarantine things and stuff like that. And so it was really tough for the first fall semester because we were at the field all day, doing weights, and then we would take classes online at the field, and then we would practice, and then we would just go right back to the dorm. And so it was definitely a grind, and it was tough not really being able to meet anybody new and not really being able to branch out. But having guys around you, especially guys, that you come into the program, that was super helpful. And then, like I said, family being close, that was super helpful as well.
So for me, it was the end of my junior year going into the summer travel ball of 17U, and for a lot of kids, that's prime time recruiting. It's very, very big for D1 through D3 schools to get kids their junior year, and I was really fortunate to already be committed to TCU. I think that really helped me in my recruiting process to get that commitment early, just because of COVID and what that did to so many people. I had a lot of friends in Georgia who weren't committed before COVID, and now they're still trying to find a place to go. I know that someone's taking a gap year. A few people are doing that, and so I think that just really impacted a lot of players in high school. Thankfully, that's something that I didn't have to deal with.
Yeah. So we'll let, even though our third member isn't here, we'll pose a question from him. We got one that he's always interested in this works out perfect because we got both groups here with us.
All right.
Pitchers versus position players. TCU, who wins?
Be honest.
Fine. Pitchers win. No shot.
No, pitchers definitely win.
No shot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting because the position players have the clear advantage getting to see pitching and then playing defense, but there's a big disadvantage when you got to try and find a guy that maybe pitched in college, and then the pitchers have the advantage on the mound, which this is a sport where the pitchers always usually dominate. But boy, is that box going to look difficult.
I've seen them play wiffle ball, and I'm not really concerned. So I know that we can have people throw strikes. We have a guy like Hunter Plansky who can still pitch pretty well, even though he's a position player. Have a few people who converted from pitching to being a position player now, so I'm not worried one bit. Get him seeing him play wiffle ball, and not too concerned. As long as we can get over the plate, I think we'll be doing just fine.
There you go. I like the confidence.
I think the pitchers, I think they take it. I mean, in our defense, the wiffle ball, it's from Coach Dakin. He can throw a dirty curve. So
50 miles per hour.
I don't think any of the position players are doing that. And I think we have a good eye for the zone at the plate. So we're just going to wait for our pitch, and then, it only takes one lucky swing. So I think we can do it. think it'll be close, but I think the pitchers pull it out.
That's
Yeah,
right.
just stay outside on David. Y'all be fine.
That's right.
Right outside the zone.
That's
right.
Yeah.
Did you guys both grow up playing just baseball, or did you guys, get into like basketball and football and other sports, well-rounded?
I played basketball for a little bit. I think I started like middle school and played until I committed. But other than that, it was just basically baseball. Besides when I was, a little kid. So baseball basically was just the main thing I've been playing.
Yeah, I played basketball up until high school, and I played football pretty much my whole life. And then I didn't get to play when I hurt my shoulder. But, my original dream was to play football in college. But then things worked out, and now I'm here, which
I feel like
awesome.
It's in the Texas State Constitution that you have to play football if you're.
It is,
you're
yeah. There's no one that doesn't play football here. So.
What's your guys' biggest advice for the younger crowd maybe listening that want to be in your position one day? Like, what are some things they can do to kind of put themselves in a better position?
You got it.
I got it.
Yeah, you got it.
I would say just take advantage of every opportunity that you have, whether it be big or small, and really just work on the little things as much as you can, because that's what's going to separate you down the line. Once you get to a high level of baseball, everybody's super talented. Everybody's been working at it their whole life. And so it's going to be those small things that separate you from everybody else. And so I would say start on those things when you're as young as you can, and focus on those things where you can be the best player that you can be, and really the best person that you can be, because baseball can only take you so far. And so that's what I would say.
Yeah, I agree with Luke. Really focusing on the small things and being able to identify weaknesses and being able to work on it. A lot of people will shy away from their weakness and just kind of put it in the back of their mind. But I think that it's really important to be able to identify it, work on it, and just become a better overall player.
Awesome. Well, you guys are a few years away from, being draft eligible. I'm sure you guys both have aspirations to get drafted and, kind of climb the mountain towards your dream to play in one of the major league parks one day. Kind of what's life going to be like after baseball if those dreams don't come true?
I've never really thought of it, to be honest. I've just been baseball, but I don't know. I seriously, I wish I could answer that question, but I've just always had my mind set on baseball. So
that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, for me, hopefully after a long baseball career, my dream. So I would love to be like a footwear designer at Nike or Adidas or something like that. But if that's not gonna happen, then I'll probably end up at law school somewhere. I don't know.
Well, there you go. It's a good profession.
Yes. That's like the C plan. Baseball is plan A.
Yeah, but we can get this podcast in front of Phil Knight at Nike.
That would be awesome.
We'll talk to Chinook about that.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Well, guys, we don't want to take up too much of your time. We appreciate y'all kind of coming on and jumping on with us and chatting it up. Sorry our other guy wasn't here. He Cardinal sin again, taking that vacation during baseball season. But
that's right.
We appreciate it once again. Good luck the rest of the season. Hopefully we see y'all in Omaha. Hopefully you're not playing LSU. Hopefully you're not playing Tennessee. But good luck the rest of the way, guys, and we look forward to it.
Thank y'all very much. Yeah. And keep up the great work. We love what y'all are doing.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank y'all so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, see
y'all.